Welcome back to TV5 News at 9, everyone. It is time now for Aging in Style with American Retirement Advisors. Joining us now is President and owner Joe Vitale. Joe, thank you so much for calling in. How are you?
Doing great, Blake. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great as well, so thank you. But before we dive in, I just want to remind our viewers at home to not forget about Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals. Scan the QR code for direct access and subscribe today for market and financial news and trends. Always a great thing to have. And for today's topic, we are talking with Joe about charting your course for retirement. And retirement can be different for each person. So when it's time, we all want those funds to work for our lifestyle that we want. So Joe, you talk about this topic in your new book. What is the best way for people to navigate their income when they're in retirement?
Yeah, you know, in our new book, Charting Your Courses, one of the things we're talking about is all aspects of retirement. It's a short read, but definitely want to touch on how we're going to make things happen in retirement, because you could be working for 30, 40 years. And when the market's up, everybody's, oh, I'm not worried. I'm retired. We got plenty of money. But then, of course, we have a market correction. Everybody's worried of what are we going to do now? How are we going to live? What are we going to do? Should we have retired? Well, you have to have the no-so money in retirement, right? There's hope-so money and no-so money. You need that mailbox money coming in every week or every 2 weeks. So you need to have that money, that reoccurring income that you can depend on. And that's one of the things we do with our clients, is we want to make sure that they've got that no-so money, that they've got money coming in consistently so that they can pay their bills, they've got money to rely on. The rest of the money, some of it we can put for the no-so, that comes down the road, regardless of market volatility. We definitely want to have some that have consistent earnings. We do have a guaranteed bucket. We've got a growth bucket. We've got a tax-free bucket. We're looking at strategies to make sure that that income is reoccurring, and then we can navigate the other money for growth or for other places. But it's all about making sure it's there and the income is consistent.
Very good. And what about savings and investments? Is that possible to use in retirement?
Yeah, and that's everybody's like, oh my gosh, where am I going to go? I can't take money out of my investments right now. We're down. We're starting to see some savings rates where we've got guaranteed buckets of money where we can get 4 or 5% rate of return, which is much better than we've seen in the past. Still not keeping up with inflation, but much better than 0.0. So you can get a safe rate of return better than 4% now. Which is nice. So definitely give us a call. We'll help you with that. But also, you want to look at investments that you're going to be long-term. If you're going to have money in the market, you have to be long-term with it. And you have to make sure that you can grow. But also, we can look at some dividend stocks. We can look at strategies that are pulling income or that are more growth-oriented but blue chip. So you don't have that big, huge ups and downs. Slow and steady wins the race, a little bit better allocation. So it all depends on the person and the portfolio, but we want to make sure it's properly allocated.
And it's good to have options. Great. Joe, what kind of risk should a retiree have in retirement?
That's huge. Everybody has their own kind of feel-good moment or their comfort level. We call it our color of money risk analysis, and we do that with all of our prospects and clients. And anybody who we want to work with, we need to know what their color of money is, how they feel towards risk. I have some clients that say, Joe, I better never lose a penny if the market goes down. Well, guess what? You're not going in the market. You just can't, because that's part of it. You're going to have the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. So depending on what their risk tolerance is and what they feel about risk, and if they're comfortable and they understand, because if you're in the market, you have to understand you're not always going to be up all the time. And this year is proving that. When everybody, we're having the pullback, we're having the correction. So you need to make sure that you are properly allocated. So when the market does go down, you're going to be okay. And if you have the consistent income, you're going to be fine.
Thank you, Joe. And I guess we would also like to know about long-term care, Medicare, Medicaid. It can all be kind of confusing. So what should our retirees know right now?
Okay, we got a long answer for this one.
Okay.
So first and foremost, let's go into, first you need a good elder law estate planning attorney like Carol Thomas, Jim Thomas, best of the best. That's who you need in your corner, because if that happens, you have to make sure that we can preserve your assets. And that's what we help. We've been doing that for 17 years with clients. We know asset preservation. It's important to grow your money, but how much is going out for long-term care? That could kill everything. So we want to look at long-term care insurance. We help with that. But a lot of times as you get older, nobody wants to pay that premium and it goes up. We look at hybrid strategies, which is what I personally have, which I love, because if I need care in a long-term care facility or home care, I've got coverage. But if I pass away, my family gets a great tax-free benefit. For those who can't qualify or who still, definitely you better make sure you have good powers of attorney so that you can do the planning you need to. Again, go see Carol Thomas. You have to make sure that everything is in order. So those are how we're going to look at long-term care strategies, home care strategies, preservation strategies, making sure that if Medicaid happens or if we need skilled nursing, we know how to protect your money. We know how to make sure that we can do it, because a lot of places out there, they don't do preservation strategies. They have no care about that. We know. We want to make sure that we protect your money. The other thing is, let's talk about Medicare for a minute. Right now, it's open enrollment, October 15th, December 1st. So right now, for open enrollment for Medicare, make sure you're in the right plan. If you're not sure, give our office a call. Alex in our office specializes in long-term care in Medicare. He can give you a complimentary consultation and make sure you're in the right program and make sure that everything is the way it's working the right way for you. Or if you're just about, you're coming up to 65, make sure you got the right plan. He'll help you with that. So we want to make sure at this stage is so important as you're transitioning in retirement or you're in retirement. You have to protect your money. You have to make sure that you're in the right Medicare strategies, make sure for Medicaid. That's kind of where we shine in our practice. We help families with a lot of preservation. Also, veterans benefits is another thing that we haven't talked about, but we've talked about that in the past. That's another part of the whole strategy, what we do.
Very good. And you know what? You have the right people in place to help all of our viewers out. So, Joe, thank you very much. Is there anything else that you would like us to know before we go?
Give us a call if you'd like to get a copy of our Charting Your Course book. I would be glad to send you one. It's a quick read, only about 60 pages, just kind of a nice overview to kind of wet your beak, so to speak, give you a nice overview on how this retirement works. And, it's a good overview. A lot of people need a good course, to look at what they want to do and some good strategies, and that's going to help with that.
Very good. Joe, I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Blake. Take care. Good to see you.
You too. And if you want more information on this topic, be sure to check out, of course, Joe's new book, Charting Your Course. You can also check out the Aging and Style page on our website, WNEM.com.